So in this video I'm going to be showing Prediction Princess Shaddolls replay. In this particular duel I was up against Virtual World, and we'll just get right into it. Don't want to spoil what happens, but obviously it wasn't a bad duel for me if I'm going to upload it and show it on YouTube. This is my 40 card Prediction Princess Shaddolls deck. Recent profile that I just posted on YouTube. It's like a 45 card variant. I basically just decided I want to cut all the fluff, make it as competitive as possible. Still not a competitive deck, of course, but it's better. It's better now that I trimmed it, I believe. Anyway, so as I said, I'm up against Virtual World. I don't really know this deck very well. I've played against it a handful of times. Same with all meta decks. I don't study the meta. I mean, you should if you want to get better at this game, that's for sure, but it's not like I don't have the time, I just don't want to put in the time. But with that being said, I'm happy with the decks I play. Salamangreats, I'm a Salamangreat player too, so at least I have some competitive options, or a competitive option with that, somewhat at least. So yeah, he's just going off. It's Virtual World shit, right? I truly don't know if I beat Virtual World before and tried Brigade even with this deck, and Outlich even, but with that being said, like I said, I don't know the decks. I'm not sure how. I can usually tell if there's a bad player, but this guy didn't seem bad. That's all I'm gonna say. Maybe he could have played better. Who can't? I mean, we're not all pros, but yeah, so he just keeps going here. I think he ends on Fan. He does. I don't understand Virtual World. I don't know how to play Virtual Worlds, but you know, I see he's got Crystal Ring, Synchron Dragon, or Synchro. It's Synchro Dragon, and so he's got Diamond Monster Negate on field. This can't be targeted by battle or card effects as long as he controls the Synchro. This is not a live quick effect because he didn't have 2 cards in hand, and this just, once it hits the grave, if I destroy it, then he gets to summon 2 Virtual Worlds, which I did not want that happening. But yeah, so we open, we draw for turn here. We have Burial, Shaddolls Fusion, Pre-Prep, Kujikuri, Sinister Rush. Here I'm, you know, I sat through this entire combo, and you know, I figured he got to at least try, right? I don't know where I stand at this point, is all I'm getting at, but I thought, you know, I have a decent chance here. I just need to bait the Synchro negate, which I actually did with the Foolish Burial. I wasn't expecting to do it with Foolish Burial here. I was actually going to pre-prep. I think I was going to pre-prep, and then I was not able to do that. Regardless, I activate Burial first here. Send a Squamata effect to send something else, but no, he wants to negate that right off the bat. I'm fine with that. I don't think he should have done that. Maybe it was, I think he could have waited. Regardless, he uses his negate there. I activate pre-prep, search for a ritual and a tarot tray. Pretty standard so far. Kujikuri Curse to draw 2, because the hand we had, there's nothing we really could have done there, right, at all. So I mean, you can activate Shaddolls Fusion. I had a Shaddolls Fusion. Yeah, by the way, that draw was terrible. I drew another Shaddolls Fusion and another Sinister. Terrible. 2 cards I did not want to see at all. But anyway, anytime you have Kujikuri in hand with Tarot Tray and you can't summon Tarot Tray, generally it's best to just to dish it for a draw 2, because you can oftentimes draw into a pre-prep, and then you get another Tarot Tray back with a ritual, and you can continue your play sometimes from there. Anyway, I Shaddolls Fusion here. Tricon and Wendy, I believe that was. And I bring out Construct. So here, let me chain Construct, chain link 2 Wendy, and 3 Squamata, or sorry, 3 Trick Clown, because we don't really care about Trick Clown's effect as much. And yeah, here, so I have Construct up, so now I have Construct out, so now I can attack in a Synchron. So here we bring out Hell Shaddolls Hollow, and you're going to be seeing this card a lot, at least in my game. This card is very underrated. I use this, well, we'll see what I use it for. Let's just see Hollow in action. I said an aerial. So I don't know what I'm needing to banish from his graveyard here. This turn, I already kind of spent a little bit of time thinking. I wasn't going to sit there and read every single card in his graveyard, but while he was comboing off during turn 1, I was reading cards in his grave, and I noticed a lot of his spells and traps had graveyard effects, so, you know, maybe I should have, see, look, this actually has a graveyard effect too. I missed that because the text starts, like, kind of early, if this card's in your grave. Maybe I should have banished some monsters. I didn't want to sit there for too long reading every single fucking card, so I banished 3 spells traps that had graveyard effects. No idea how that worked out, but Construct, I then bop his Synchro Dragon, and now we're not in a bad spot here. We have a board. We have a set Rash, Double Sinister, dealt with his Omni Negate, well, no, not an Omni Negate, but his Monster Negate, and he's not left with a whole lot right here. Anyway, on his draw, I go for Sinister to send Schism, flip Hollow, activate Hollow, banish Fan. Now, you know, not a big deal there. Hollow's not that good of a card. Hollow is so good, man. Yeah, just banish Fan, send Shekinega. That's why you run Shekinega in this build. And, oh, and by the way, too, we'll just get Schism from the grave with Shekinega, because we can do that. So, amazing play. Hollow is underrated. But yeah, I'll explain just in case. Hollow, I can flip, target a face-up monster your opponent controls, you banish it. You send a Shaddolls monster with the same attribute from your extra deck to the graveyard, and then you banish that monster. We play Lights and Darks, obviously, with Construct and Winda and Apicalone, and it's totally worth running Shekinega, at least in Prediction Princess Shaddolls, because we have a few Earth monsters, like Pot of the Forbidden, Morphing Jar. Sometimes you literally can set and pass, or you can special summon Shekinega. So, not only for that reason, but also to banish Earth monsters. It came up this game, it comes up a lot. Hollow's effect comes up virtually every duel. It's because I'm searching for it, and a lot of the time, maybe I'm making mistakes sometimes, but most of the time, I'm winning games with Hollow. Like, seriously. Its body, 2900, so overlooked. And its destruction effect, too, when it gets sent to the graveyard, it's coming up, man. Milling cards from the top of your deck to the graveyard. Almost all of our monsters we want in the graveyard. Anyway, I'm done ranting about Hollow. Put in some work this game, though, as you can see. Anyway. So he goes into, Vermilion Mech here. I really wish I had a Solemn Judgment. Not for this play, but it would have been nice. So yeah, he uses his effect to bomb my Construct, which was fine. I don't really care about that. I get to search another fusion. We don't really need that, though, anyway, but it just wasn't a big deal. We have Schism in hand for next turn. Spoiler, we don't even need to use Schism this game. I guess I just spoiled that I did end up winning, but anyway, maybe I'll cut that out. Then he goes into True King, which is kind of annoying. Quite annoying, actually. But I know I can play around this. So he does Bop Hollow. And my first potential mistake this game is coming up, I think, next turn, but it doesn't really end up mattering. Oh, it's right here. I rush, bring back Hollow. I should have brought back El Shaddolls Construct with this play. Basically, that was my plan with Resh. At the very last second, I'm like, oh, I can just banish True King with Hollow. I'll just do it. Having a momentarily lapse of judgment, brain fart. I can't activate Hollow when True King's on the field, right? So, it is what it is, it didn't end up mattering. Now my turn again, pre-prep, really good hard draw. So we flip Hollow anyway. This is just, no, here's where he fucked up. Okay. She should have activated True King during my draw phase. I don't know why he didn't. He's waiting until I activate an effect, just as it doesn't negate it. And I used to play True King in my Pure Pod to build when it was legal, and yeah, it doesn't even negate. Yeah, I just can't activate effects. He waited too long. I figured he would chain. I forgot that for some reason I just assumed the True King negated. Whatever. He waits until I activate Hollow to use it, which was a complete mistake because sure, it locks me out of attacks and effects for the rest of the turn, but your True King is still banished. You should have done that during my draw phase. Anyway, he does get True King off, but Hollow still resolves, so it's banished. I activate pre-prep, I start getting my pre-preparation, or my ritual cards. I special summon Territory, use Hollow, and that's why Hollow is so good in this deck too. Level 9 Ritual deck, it just use Hollow in its entirety for material, for tribute. Then I activate Shaddolls Fusion, Beast School Mod, which I made a mistake. I thought I could activate those effects. I was wondering why I couldn't get them off. It's because of Calamities. But yeah, I figured I'd go into a window at the very end to lock him out of more special summons, just in case he wants to grind his way back into the game. Set Schism here. And yeah, at this point I'm very confident. I don't know how the fuck he's going to beat me. And as you can see, he kind of just gives up. He does activate Desires. I have no response. Does have E-Telly, which I can't do anything about anyway. I'm still not really too worried about. So he brings out Mayheim, whatever this card is. Mayheim. I didn't see the E. And yeah, so that's his only special summon for the turn too, which I actually forgot about after I activated Territory, but it doesn't matter. There was so much going on. I'm sitting here thinking, I had like so many disruptions. I had Territory as a Book of Moon, quick effect. I have a Schism, which I can pull off at any moment during his main phase, of course, sending something to the graveyard, special summoning. I have a Sinister Shadow Games to pull off a combo play, and I also have a Resh in the graveyard, which can flip one of these face up or down to my field. So there's just like 4 plays I had. None of which I really needed. So he normal summons Ash Blossom here, and at this point it's like he's basically done. I decided Chainlink Territory and flip down Mayheim just so he can't synchro. I don't know if he can. Actually, these are both tuners. That's right. Well, he can't link either. I decided that to prevent an extra deck play, I sent this face down, and here's where he gives up. He flips this and face up, and then he swings into Territory, and here I was kind of confused, but I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to sit here and read all his graveyard effects. I'm not going to expect... I think he's just kind of given up, and I was right. He was just like, yeah, I'm done, you won this game. Attacks into Territory, blows up, crashes his monsters, takes all that damage. Designator is called by the graveyard. No, as soon as he did that too, I'm like, yeah, he's I mean, when he attacked with Ash Blossom the second time, it confirmed it. That's basically the duel, though. I don't waste any time. Go to battle, attack and attack for game. And that's the second action against Virtual World, at least in one instance. I know I'm not consistently... You're not consistently going to win against Virtual World with this deck, but with that being said, there are a lot worse matchups. Believe it or not, what is it? This deck matches up pretty good against Virtual World and Tri-Brigade Lyrilusk. I'm not saying it's good against Lyrilusk, but it's not a terrible matchup at all. It's winnable. And, I don't know, just a random thought. I don't think I've ever lost to Sky Strikers with this deck. This deck eats Sky Striker up for breakfast. Anyway, I may post some more replays in the future, and also have a pure Vampire Turbo deck that I'm working on. I'm going to upload soon. Anyway, thank you for watching. Peace.